when we graduated college, it was just like, okay, this is what I want to do. That job changed everything.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your host, Angie Scott and Barb Carey.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast. I'm Angie Scott. Before we get into it, I wanted to let you know about a really exciting opportunity we have coming up next month. If you happen to be in the Cape Cod area or you're able to travel, the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast is sponsoring a striper fishing clinic in conjunction with Al's Goldfish Lure Company and Wisconsin Women Fish. We connected with Mandy Dubwin, owner of Al's Goldfish Lure Company, and shared her story back on Christmas Day last year. If you missed that episode, check it out at thewomanangler.com/39. Mandy's going to be bringing in her expert contacts to ensure we learn as much as possible about catching these beasts in the Atlantic and have a blast fishing for them too. Here's a quick overview of what we'll be doing. On Friday, October 11th, we'll have a striper fishing seminar with our guides, Eddie and Todd. They'll walk us through safety, teach us about striped bass and striper fishing, surf casting techniques, and much more. Then on Saturday, half the group will go surf cast fishing with Eddie and Todd, while the other half have the option to either go on a guided fishing trip aboard a 26-foot cobia center console, or you can choose to go out on the Neat Lady Fishing Charter. That's a 65-foot charter boat with a capacity of 55 people. We'll not be the only group aboard that day, but you'll be targeting blackfish, so if you want to get a different experience while you're out there, you have that option as well. Then on Sunday, the two groups are going to switch activities. Either Barb or myself will be with your group each day. On Saturday night, there's going to be a reception dinner, and on Sunday, we'll gather for pizza at a well-known pizza joint. It's going to be super fun, so for more details on pricing, lodging, what to bring, and how to register for this event, head on over to wiwomenfish.com. That's wiwomenfish.com/events and click on Striper Fishing Clinic. Don't delay because space is very limited. In order to make sure everyone gets the most value possible out of their experience, we'll put a link to that in the show notes for this episode as well, which you can find at thewomanangler.com/75. Okay, now on to today's episode. Barb and I had the pleasure of learning about two young lady captains in Florida known as the Gale Force Twins while we were down at ICAST. And unfortunately, due to the huge turnout at TakeMeFishing.org's Wavemaker event, we didn't end up having the chance to speak with everyone who turned out, but we were definitely looking forward to chatting with these amazing young ladies, Amanda and Emily Gale. They're twin sisters who have a successful fishing charter business and a thriving YouTube channel. We'll include links to those in the show notes as well, so you can check them out. A lot of you around the country have been following the devastation left in the wake of Hurricane Dorian. The Gale Force Twins had many friends affected in the Bahamas. If you're looking to find a way to help, we're sharing a link to a GoFundMe set up by one of their trusted friends in the Bahamas called Head Knowles, Funds for Foundation. Funds will go toward providing much needed items such as generators, tarps, chainsaws, mosquito repellent, toiletries, water filtration devices, and much more. Check out the link in our show notes for this episode for more information. And again, that's thewomanangler.com/75. All right, so quick disclaimer about this episode. We had a little bit of technical difficulties due to connection issues. At one point, about halfway through, we completely lost Barb. She was traveling to one of her mini fishing adventures, but the connection gets better, so be sure and stick with it to the end. We've got a big announcement about our next episode you won't want to miss. So, okay, enough me talking. Let's get inspired by the Gale Force Twins. We're so happy to be talking with the Gale Force Twins, Amanda and Emily Gale. Ladies, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Great to be here.
So we found out about you through the Wave Makers event at ICAST, and we were hoping that we were going to be able to get to meet and speak with you there. However, it got kind of chaotic with all the women that turned out for that event, and unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to talk then, but we're talking now. So what did you guys think about ICAST and that Wave Maker event?
ICAST was crazy. It was so busy. It was our first time there. It was our first year at ICAST, and obviously, I mean, we have the boat shows down here by us that we've been to multiple times, and you could just basically say ICAST is on the same level, but way more just fishing. Yeah. It is a lot more intense because it's not open to the public, so it's just a lot of business and, really cool products you get to see. And I mean, we had an absolute blast. I mean, we got to meet so many cool people and, talk about collaborating with some people, which we're kind of really excited to start doing. So, I mean, ICAC was probably done wonders for our business. And I mean, that was our first time. We went into it with probably really low expectations. And after that, I mean, since we left, we just been so busy just keeping in touch with people and kind of moving forward and making plans. But the Take Me Fishing Wave Makers event, I mean, the turnout of women there was huge. I mean, much bigger than I anticipated. And I think that they're doing a really good job at just trying to promote women and kids fishing. And I mean, I love their booths and their tackle boxes with, like, what are they called? Tackle boxes. I mean, I think they're doing a great job. They're doing a great job with their marketing. And it's nice to find a place where all these ladies can meet up.
Yeah. It was Barb and my first time at ICAST as well. So we kind of had the same thoughts that you did. It was pretty overwhelming, all the different booths and companies. And I mean, it was just huge, way bigger than, I mean, I knew it was big, but I guess I didn't know just how big it was until you walk in that room and look around, and it's just like, whoa. But yeah, we absolutely love the turnout for that Wave Maker event too. It's so cool to see, and so cool that there's an organization like that that's really focused on promoting and helping to get more women into the sport. So now, I saw you guys did a video. Did you get to fish the Disney lakes while you were at ICAST, or was that done a different time?
No, it was actually while we were there at ICAST. It was the day before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. It was our second time fishing Disney, and basically we went out and we fished the Magic Kingdom area, and I mean, it's just, the bass are everywhere there. It's kind of like catching fish in a barrel. Yes, in a barrel. Yeah, but it's cool because you get to go past like iconic Disney places. We fish in front of Cinderella's castle, in front of the Grand Floridian, under the monorail, and we have all these super cool pictures holding fish next to these really neat places. And then there's also so that was our second time fishing there. The first time we fished, it was just kind of the two of us, did it on a whim, and we showed up, and the guides there actually knew who we were because they followed us on social media, and we pretty much hit it off with them. So then when they found out we were going to be at ICAST again, Joe is the director there, and he knew we were going to be there, and he was like, I'll take you out this time. Yeah, and not only that, but Joe, the director of Disney Fishing, he's the one that actually really encouraged us to go to ICAST, and he walked the entire show with us, and he introduced us to his connections, and he's done it before, and he kind of just, I would just say, like, took us around and showed us everything and showed us what's important and who to talk to. So, I mean, that was really helpful. And I just think we've gotten some really good relationships with the Disney guys and at ICAST.
Cool. So that's you're down in the Keys, so it's a different type of fishing than what you normally do. Can you tell our listeners just a little bit about your background and story and how you got into chartering?
Yeah. So sometimes I feel like it's like a different story than most people's stories. A lot of times I feel like when people say that they're charter captains, they come from a family of charter captains or something like that, but that really isn't the case for us. It really started for us when we were just kids and we would fish off the docks in Isla Morada just on a summer family vacation trip. And finally, for our 13th birthday, we just begged our parents, like, we want to go deep sea fishing. And I really didn't even know what deep sea fishing meant. I just, when you're driving down US 1 of the Keys, you guys see those big billboards that say deep sea fishing. So, we kind of told our mom that's what we wanted to do, and she was the captain, and he took us out, and we told them that, I said, I don't just want you to take me fishing, I want you to teach me how to fish, because, we were fishing off the docks, and we didn't have many skills at the time. And I knew that if someone taught me, I could basically fish off the dock better and catch more fish. So we kind of started and like that, and we kind of got to know some charter captains. And then once we were in college, there was a charter captain in Key West that we were talking to, and he said to us, you should come work for me in the summer if you want. I think you have a lot of fun. And we didn't hesitate. Right. Instantly, we were like, yes, I would love that. And it's kind of ironic because we both have pre-med degrees, and we were on the pre-med track, and I decided to spend my summer fishing on a charter boat. But it was an amazing experience, and that job, that was my first time being fully engulfed into, like, the charter scene and, getting up every day. And, I just have so many great memories just being in the tower and, I don't know, pulling fish in the boat. And I think that was what really opened my eyes to, wow, this is a real industry and people can make a career out of it. So that was a very pivotal point in our life.
Wow.
When we graduated college, it was just like, okay, this is what I want to do. Yeah, that job changed everything. And when we first started that job, for some people ask us, like, how did you get started? But I'll just say, when we first started that job, we worked for free. In the beginning, we worked for free for a while, and then from there, we worked for really, really low pay. That's typically how you have to get started. Sometimes, you do ride-alongs and things. So, if anybody does want to get started, I would say that don't be afraid to work for free. I know it's tough to do that. But, thankfully, since we were in college, we were in school and had scholarship in school, so it worked for us. For the summer. And there's always a tip, too. So, and you always, there's always a good tip. But that's kind of how we started. And from there, we graduated, and we both kind of looked at each other, and we were like, well, what's the next step? This guy's in Key West, and we don't live in the Keys. So we met Captain Skip Smith. He runs the Hooker, which is a boat in Costa Rica, and he actually lives up in Lighthouse Point, which is more where our family is from. So we worked for him for a total of almost 6 months, and that was actually managing and running his fishing tournaments. They were called Skip's tournaments and a custom shootout. So all these tournaments were in the Bahamas, which was just another eye-opening thing to the industry to see how big the industry was. We were going to the Bahamas every other week for 2 months, spending 7 days there, learning how to run a tournament, between the sponsors and the awards and live results. We ran the radio. So that was basically just our out-of-school job that we got that, I guess just continued to solidify our career choice. Yeah.
When you're first working here at your first gig, what kind of boat was that, and what kind of fishing was it? Would you go way offshore in a great big boat? Explain a little bit about the kind of boat and what you were fishing for.
So in Key West, we were fishing on a sport fish. It was a 36-foot lures, an express. And that was basically offshore.
Yeah, it was a big trolling boat.
Boat. So we were catching mahi, tuna, wahoo, kingfish, pretty much everything pelagic. Yeah, sailfish occasionally. We were basically fishing with outriggers, a downrigger, a long shot. Kind of like the whole ballyhoo rigging type boat. Dead bait trolling. That's literally exactly what we were doing.
Yeah, that's the big time there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know it was. It was early mornings. We would get up at 4:20 every day because we had to get to Key West, and it was an hour drive for us to Key West. We had the boat by 6, and the charter started at 7.
Well, you guys have a really cool video that you posted recently that kind of shows the day in the life, and we'll put a link to that in our show notes because I think that's just a really eye-opening video. People hear about people that get to go out and fish all day and get paid for it, and you don't realize how much work goes into the whole process.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the video was something I've been doing for a while, actually, and we were just like, let's just do it. And we did it on a half day, and it was a good example of what a half-day charter would look like, but there's a lot of days where we'll have doubles or full-day charters, and the day just is basically twice as long as what that video showed. But I think having a half-day charter actually helped us find the time to film it all in between everything. But yeah, we really wanted to do that for a while, and
seems like it's gotten a lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people appreciate that we kind of showed what it takes other than just going out and fishing.
Now, you guys, you do diving as well. I think I saw that on your website.
Yeah, we're both open water scuba certified, and I mean, we dive when we can.
Yeah, we mostly scuba dive when we go on vacation. It's kind of like our fun thing that we do when we're traveling to a new cool place. We don't necessarily do it like regularly at all. It's just like our fun thing that we get to do when we
Okay.
Like when we went to Hawaii and we were able to do a manta ray night dive. So that was really, really cool and special.
Oh wow. Yeah, that would be really cool. Amanda, I saw that you're a drone flyer. Do you get to do that, use that for your videos and stuff like that?
Yeah. Flying the drone I wish we did it more.
Yeah.
It's a lot of heavy gear to lug around and use our fishing. I mean, there's only 2 of us on the boat. But we have started to talk about, we really should just bring the drone out more often and using it in our videos. We do have a drone, and we definitely want to take advantage of it. And we're actually going to be getting an underwater drone.
Oh,
There's a company, and their drone is called EW Space Pro. And they are sending it to us, and they're asking us to film a YouTube video using their drone. So we're planning, as of right now, we're planning on going out and underwater fishing with this drone. Like, we're going to put the drone out. We're going to try to find the fish.
The goal is to not use the fish finder and use the drone to find the fish. That's what we're going to try.
Wow.
But that's kind of the next drone project on our horizon. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get that done.
I've never even heard of such a thing.
Me either.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter. It was a Kickstarter. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that much about it, and we got a call from one of the reps from the company, and he was like, I think that this would be so perfect for you. And they advertise the drone with a lot of divers they advertise it with.
Yeah.
Scuba divers, snorkelers, and I don't know how much fishing they've done with the drone, so we're going to give it a try, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
That underwater footage, I think, adds so much. I know I run inline underwater cameras.
How do you guys know how that works? Like the drone, is it attached with a wire? Like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
How you control it.
They sent us, right now we have one of the drones, which is an older model that we're not going to be using in the video, but it's an older model that we're going to be practicing with. So it's a little bit different than the newer model, but I believe that the one that we have has 3 props on it, whereas the new one has 4.
Okay.
And it's attached to a tether cable.
Okay.
So basically, if it fails,
pull it
you can
up.
still pull it up.
Gotcha.
And the tether cable is, I think it's 300 feet long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
So you can go pretty far with it. And, it's just like a regular drone. You can use it has a remote control, or you can use your phone as a remote, and you look at your screen and you can see what it's looking at. The drone also has underwater lights. And we've used so far the lights, they're really bright. I haven't used them in the ocean yet. I'm pretty sure we'd be able to see a lot down there, though. It looks really, really cool. And the technology just seems so advanced at this point, but it's a really cool project, I think.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing some of that footage on your videos, and it's really cool that you get to be involved in the early stages of something like that. So what keeps you, we talked about it being a lot of hard work. Like, what keeps you doing what you do? Like, what drives you to do charters? And
obviously, other than just having a passion for the water and what we're doing, a lot of it really stems from our followers, I would say. And basically, we get a lot of feedback we'll have parents come on the boat with their, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, and their parents allow their kids to watch our YouTube videos. And they'll say, yeah, we just watched your YouTube video driving over here this morning. And, they love it. And I think that we push ourselves to make videos that are 100% family friendly for kids to watch. Like, we don't want parents to ever have to worry about foul language or anything that would be inappropriate. And I think that it's really motivating when I get Facebook messages from parents saying that, you know, my daughter watches you and she looks up to you. And you just feel like this industry is filled with a lot of, I don't want to say like, I would say that there's not a lot of family friendly marketing in the fishing world.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in like the diving and the like, you know, for the keys, there's plenty of family fun things to do. But when it comes strictly to fishing, some of the marketing I've noticed isn't exactly family friendly. And, you know, I think we grew up in an environment where, I mean, everything we did was family friendly. Yeah. You know, between just our vacations and going to Disney World. And I think that there's a gap in the market for it. Yeah. So we've just decided that we really want to focus on taking kids out and helping them catch their first yellowtail snapper or whatever. We get much more joy out of our day when I bring a kid to the reef and he catches his first snapper than I do taking a group of men offshore to catch a big mahi. Because it's just more special to me when the kid gets to catch their first fish.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of really positive feedback just from parents saying, like, recently we had a dad say that their daughter wants to be a captain in the guy and she looks up to us. And like when people say that to me, like I usually just get goosebumps because I'm just like, I'm just doing my thing, but like it means a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. I just had an experience this past weekend where I took a father and son out, and the very first cast, he caught a bluegill, and so that was just cool, you know. I can relate to that feeling. Have you had any just real memorable experiences or anything that really stands out as something special that you've got to experience thus far?
Well, yeah, I feel like the list can almost be endless. I mean, since we've been in the industry, there's just been a lot of really, really cool opportunities for us to travel and fish. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah. 2 years ago, we went to Costa Rica with Costa Sunglasses. They hired us to basically film like a video shoot, and it's going to be on the technology of the lens. And we were out there like sail fishing for 2 days. Like they were like 14-hour days fishing. And, you know, I was on the long, and a huge mahi just came and ate my bait. And, you know, it was, by the time I got to the boat, I mean, we realized how big the fish was, and we pulled it in the boat, and it measured a total of 65 inches long. Wow. So that was taller than both of us, which was, I mean, at the time, it was the biggest fish I caught. So yeah. It was just such a cool experience. And we weighed it on a 50-pound scale, and the 50-pound scale bottomed out and broke.
Wow.
So, yeah, we never got the official weight. We estimated it at just around 60 pounds. And I think that was just an experience that I'll probably never forget. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully mounting a fish one day.
Wow, cool. Yeah, I got to fish for mahi out off the Dominican Republic. I took a little charter out, and those fish are so beautiful underwater. It's crazy how the colors just pop. Do you have any like big plans for the future? Anything you want to talk about that you got coming up?
Yeah, actually. So we've spent the past year, we've spent the past 3 years fishing in the Keys and chartering on different boats. And then the past year, we've been in the Keys full-time, living on our own. And as of literally like last month, we've decided to move our charter business. It's kind of still in the works, but it looks like we'll be running out of Hillsborough Inlet up in Pompano and Lighthouse Point area. You know, the real reason we chose that area is because that's essentially where we grew up and where our family is. And we both know that we want chartering to be a long-term thing for us. And we said to ourselves, what's the best place for me so that my charter business can last a long time? Yeah, living in the Keys, it was a really, really amazing experience, and we learned many different kinds of fishing. But the lifestyle down there, it's very slow, and it's there's not very many young, motivated people. And it's an amazing vacation place, but I think we're kind of at the point where we're like, we want to take our business to the next level, and we want to be able to do that somewhere that we grew up. I think we just want to do somewhere where we know personally
we can thrive. So personally, I can thrive, my business can thrive. So, I mean, that's kind of like our next big move, and it's kind of in the works. Our boat is already up there, but it's a temporary split. We're taking some time to learn the waters up there. I mean, we've already gone fishing a couple of times, and, just that's kind of the next step for us.
Cool. That's super exciting. We'll continue following you and sharing your adventures. I just think it's so cool what you're doing. I mean, it's so unique to see two sisters doing charters and taking people out, and I love that you're attracting families and kids and women, and so just hats off to you for doing what you do, and I hope it just thrives for you when you move, and we're excited to follow your adventures.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. We love to do these kinds of things and help you guys out, be on your podcast, and we can't wait to do it.
Yep. As we say, we've got a couple mottos on the show. One is, if she can do it, I can do it. And so you guys are great role models for people to look up to and see that. And the other slogan we have is, we're better together. And so we love supporting people like you that are doing great things in the industry. So thanks again, and I hope you have a great week.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast. A couple quick things before we go. First of all, we created a special number for the show. If you'd like to call in and leave comments that we can share, we'd love to hear from you. That number is 615-649-4351. Please call in at any time. I'm going to put that number in the show notes in case you're not able to write it down, but that's 615-649-4351. In our show notes at thewomanangler.com/75. Second of all, as I teased in the beginning, we have a very special episode in store for you next week. Barb and I recently had the chance to speak with one of our fishing heroes, the legendary Al Lindner. This man is in 5 different fishing halls of fame, and he had a lot of great insight and things to say about women in the industry as he's seen it evolve over his long career. And so make sure you are subscribed to our show, whatever platform you prefer to listen to. Apple Podcasts is definitely one of the main platforms. We could not continue doing this show without your support. Please continue to spread the word, and we will see you back here next week.